Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this episode 28 of the League One Review Show. As you can see, we have a very full panel, but it is an absolute stellar lineup. We have got Ian, Jake, and Jonathan. They're all near the top of the table, so this is going to be an interesting stream. We will start with Ian. Tell the viewers all about yourself and what you get up to, mate.
All right, I'm a football fan first, but Rotherham United fan. 60-year-old. I've been watching the Millers for about 50 years. And there you have it, really.
You also do a bit of work for the D3D4 podcast. A link to that will be in the description down below as well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's all right. You stick with me, mate. We'll get through it. As always, get your comments in. We'll try and go through those. But we're expecting quite a full show because we've got to go back to the 2nd of April to catch up with results and things. But we will be touching base with
fixtures that we needed to play.
Say again, sorry?
It's the rearranged fixtures we needed to play. It's our games in hand.
But we will be touching base with Jake and Jonathan, who are below me on the screen, for the Chef Wednesday and MK Dons games. But Jake, Funk Chef 41, tell the viewers all about yourself, mate.
I'm a Sheffield Wednesday fan for my sins. I do Sheffield Wednesday content on Punk Chef 41 channel, and I also do a Talking Wednesday podcast with Dirty Box, and that goes out every Tuesday at 5 p.m. We have something a little bit different this Tuesday coming, so if you want to watch something a bit different, watch that, because it's Easter, and we didn't really feel like doing an episode properly because it's Easter. We like to have a bit of a break. We have live, so yeah, enjoy what I do, and if you don't like it, then just be nice, please.
Yeah, that's a good thing about the internet. If you don't like it, move on to something that you do like. You don't have to
I don't like EastEnders. I don't sit there leaving comments.
There we go. It's a very simple process, mate, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the final guest on the panel this evening is Jonathan Harris, MK Dons fan. Tell us all about yourself, mate.
So my name is Jonathan Harris, and I'm an MK Dons fan for my sins. I do volunteer work for the MK DSA, so I do all the fans' thoughts, pre-match previews, share a whole load of MK Dons content, and we're currently keeping Rotherham second place nice and warm for them.
Shots fired early on.
I thought you were going to be nice, Jonathan.
I did think putting you three on this show together, with it being so tight at the top and games coming up, it was a recipe for disaster. But we will get through it.
No, we'll be nice, Dan. Don't worry.
You need to sack your producer, Dan. So I think you're sacking yourself.
Yeah, definitely. So results are currently scrolling along the bottom of the screen. We've got a couple of comments in. We've got Joe Wandoni, hi. We've got Nat, who's a regular viewer. Good evening. We've got George, who pops up every now and then as well. Good day. Hello. And Nat is enjoying a beer listening in tonight. Fantastic. George as well. Rotherham are doing a Sunderland better than Sunderland are doing a Sunderland. So I'm sure Ian will be getting onto that.
Oh, thanks for
that. When's your Netflix special coming out, Ian?
Yeah, we'll end up with a Netflix special just for Rotherham.
Yeah.
So we'll get started on the fixtures that we missed. We'll have a quick catch up. So 2nd of April, Wigan 1, Bolton 1, which was a decent result up towards the top end of the table. It's keeping it tight up there. Plymouth beating Oxford 1-0, which has impacted their playoff hopes. We will go into these teams in a little bit more detail on the 9th of April fixtures. A ridiculous game. Accrington Stanley 4, Cheltenham 4. Cheltenham have been in a few of those this season, haven't they?
Yep. They leak goal, but they also manage to keep a lot of goal going the other way. It's if you're neutral and you want a game for action, I'll go to that one. Any team Cheltenham play.
Yeah, was it? Did it finish 5-5 with Wickham a few weeks back as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they did,
pretty much guaranteed entertainment. Charlton getting beat 2-1 by Lincoln, a good result there for Lincoln, which has kind of pulled them safe away from the drop zone. A good result for the Rovers. Well, kind of good and bad on both hands, with Fleetwood gaining points, but keeping Crewe below us with a 3-1 victory for Fleetwood there. Nappers was very happy with that one. But first drop-off will be for Jonathan. Tell us about MK Dons 2, Shrewsbury 0.
Well, on paper, it looks a comfortable 2-0 home win, but it was anything but. Shrewsbury came, I think the couple of weeks before, they'd gone to Rotherham and won. So I was a bit nervous about this, but we settled in quite well, and we got a goal nice and early from Mo Isa, set him through one-on-one. You know what's going to happen. Shrewsbury then had a real good chance to equalise, and I still don't know how Jamie Cummins saved that shot from Adoa, because that was going right in the corner. And after that, it was just we just kept possession second half, and nominated League One Player of the Season. Scott Twine does what Scott Twine does, another goal to his repertoire, and it looks comfortable on paper, but it certainly wasn't watching. I can tell you that.
Shrewsbury are a strange team, aren't they? Because they've got nothing to play for now, but the turning team's over. They're doing well.
Definitely.
They've
got some good players.
I mean,
the played us off the park at New York Stadium.
They did. The Daniel Udo, very good player at this level.
Yeah.
We've got Liam Martin in the chat. He's mentioned about a poor result against Burton. We will get onto that one, but it's still in their hands. Would you agree with them?
I've turned around and said Plymouth are kingmakers in the entire playoff situation. You look at who they got in their last game. They could be the break it all for everybody in that playoff thing if people don't step up. They are kingmakers for me. You look at who they've got coming up.
I think I'd agree with that. Moving on to Wycombe 2, Doncaster Rovers 0, and Wycombe had just started to turn a corner. They'd hit a bit of a rough patch a few weeks before this game, and then unfortunately for us, they'd started to find the form again, and they'd started to pull back into the playoff picture. It was a game that I expected nothing, and we duly got nothing. But there were frustrating goals to concede. I think there were avoidable goals, but a Wycombe team that's been very tough to beat all season, and kind of very workmanlike at home. Like I say, I didn't expect to bring anything back, but statistically, we gave it a go, and that's all I've been asking for weeks and weeks and weeks. We've been in this position now for all season. I think we've been in the bottom two, and I can accept relegation if the effort level's there and the commitment's there. And in this game, plenty of shots on target. We pretty much matched them, just lacking that bit of quality in the final third that Wycombe clearly had, and they come away with the 3 points. Short and sweet on that one. Moving on to Jake, you've got the floor now, mate, for a 2-1 win over AFC Wimbledon.
It's one of those games where Wednesday do the typical Wednesday thing where we play really good football and sometimes we just can't get it over the line. We're thinking it might happen again. Jack Hunt doesn't score a goal for Asia, get 2-2. Really good header, really good to see him playing. And we're fighting for that kind of to keep us in that playoff spot. And it's difficult at the minute because when they've got the situation, we are very good going forward. If we can take our chances, we're very, very good. But that's the problem. That's been the problem all season. We haven't taken our chances. They make it 1-1, and we're thinking we've blown it again by playing dominant football, playing really well, and we're not going to get it. But Lee Gregory, right at the end, diving header, 92nd minute. We don't do that very often, so it's nice to see it happen to other teams now. And there's a kind of a little bit of belief in the fan base at the minute that we might just hold on. Our big thing, I'll go on to it in the next game later, but there is an issue that we've got. But it was good to get the win. But AFC Wimbledon with a new manager, they really did show that they're going for it. And you're looking at it now like Crewe now just sacked their manager as well. So they're looking to try and see if they can do that new manager bounce. And again, another team we're going to be playing on Monday who have got a new manager. So it's going to be interesting what happens next. But when they've got the most points at home out of any team in League One, I think it's 44 points now. We're very good at home, but we're not very good away.
Absolute fortress, Hillsborough. But yeah, there's been a number of times that you've been on the show, Jake, where you've been fuming about a late equaliser or a late winner against you. So
I think it was October to December where it kept on happening.
And to round off the final fixtures from Saturday, the 2nd of April, Gillingham getting beat 1-0 at Sunderland.
This game was the one that I swore at, because they don't win this, we're fine, and we've got a comfortable thing. But I think it was 96-minute winner.
Yeah, 90 plus 5. That's it's horrible to take. Morecambe beating Burton 3-0, and Cambridge, surprise result here, beating Ipswich at Ipswich 1-0. So moving on to the midweek fixtures, Tuesday, the 5th of April, AFC Wimbledon drawing 1-1 with Charlton. Wigan beating Accrington Stanley 3-0, which didn't help Jonathan or Ian out. Wycombe, as I say, they've started to turn that corner, battering Cambridge 4-1. Fleetwood and Lincoln drawing 1-1. But then the floor is all yours again, Jonathan, for another 2-1 win, this time against Crewe.
Yep. Fairly routine against the Crewe side that came to play their football. Unfortunately, they just left themselves way too open against the side that you leave yourself open, you're going to get punished. Troy Parrott scored an absolute worldie of a lob from a brilliant pass from Louis. One touch to take it down, one touch to lob the goalkeeper. And then Crewe decided to open the floodgates for Conor Coventry to basically go through the middle and take a shot whenever he wanted and fire it into the back of the net. And we were 2-0 up within 40 minutes, and we thought, right, this is the time we start to maybe put a marker down. But we sort of professionally saw the second half out. Bit frustrating to concede last minute, but Crewe gave it a go. But you could tell that they were missing the players like Kirk and G, Pickering, all the ones that they used to have, and it's a shame to see what they've become. But it was a vital 3 points for us at the time.
Yeah, Crewe, they've just they're lacking that spark, aren't they? Or lacking sort of any creative outlet, unfortunately, and it's been a trouble for them all season, which is why, to the hands of Donny, they got relegated. But we'll get onto that shortly. But one shot
Jonathan,
on target.
If you go up, would you try and sign Troy Parrott as a permanent?
Well, the rumour is, there's a massive rumour that Tottenham are going to give us him on loan for next season if we go up, because they want him to get regular Championship football.
That makes sense. That's a progression, isn't it? So we've done League One, give him a chance. That makes sense.
Yeah, that seems fair. And then to round off the Tuesday fixtures, Morecambe, another win for them, 2-1 against Oxford, a fantastic result there. And Bolton drawing 1-1 with Pompey, which pretty much ended both of their chances of playoffs, if I remember correctly. Slept since then.
Pretty much.
So we will jump around a little bit for Saturday's fixtures. Ian, you've not really had a chance to speak because you were playing in a game that we will not speak about. But Saturday, a 1-0 defeat at home to Charlton. Tell us what went wrong, mate.
Well, basically everything went wrong. No intensity, no creativity. Can you hear me, by the way?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
We can hear
All
you.
right. No creativity. Just lumping it up to Smith. The Charlton centre-backs, very experienced side Charlton have got, by the way. The bags of EFL experience, but all over the pitch. They played really Charlton like they were on the beach. They scored a wonder goal, though. Dobson's goal was superb. But we never even looked like scoring. Yeah, it was a very good goal. But one shot on target tells its own story. 61% possession doesn't really mean anything. We were just knocking it long and...
You kind of called this about a couple of weeks ago. A couple of weeks ago, you were really worried about Robin.
Yeah, that's
you
right.
said there's a blip coming soon. I can feel it, and I think you're seeing it now. And it's we all thought you were talking.
Well,
we just thought you were just not being right.
Well, to be quite honest, I mean, since Christmas up to and including like the second week in March, we were getting results, but the performances weren't good. And there's a train of thought within the Rotherham fan base is that we've been found out. Our style of play has been found out. there's a lot of very clever coaches in this league, and I'm sure we've been found out. And unfortunately, Paul Warne is a very reticent to abandon the 3-5-2 system. I mean, yeah, I'm going to bring it up now. The Pizza Cup final, right? We were getting hammered. We were getting hammered. Yeah, I know. We were getting hammered by Sutton in normal time.
Yeah.
Come extra time, he reverted to 4-4-2, and we blew them away in extra time. But that 4-4-2, yeah, it might be a bit antiquated system. It worked on occasion. But since then, it's gone back to 3-5-2. And in my opinion, and I love this guy to bits, but Paul Warne is relying too much on a 36-year-old centre-back with no pace, Richard Wood.
Yeah.
I mean, if you would have seen... I know we've not discussed the Pompey game yet, but the second goal where George Hurst went past Wood as though he wasn't there to cross for Harness to score.
I'm not going to lie, that must have
just,
been sickening considering he didn't do much at Rotherham.
Yeah.
Sickening is that it's sickening, but strangely inevitable.
Yeah.
It were always going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, Nat said it, kind of hit the nail on the head. Can't believe that some Rotherham fans are wanting Warne out from an outsider looking in.
No.
I think Warne's a fantastic coach, fantastic manager. He's done wonderful things for Rotherham. And I think a little blip. Personally, I like seeing local clubs doing well. So hopefully it is a little blip. But to want Warne out at this moment of the season, I think it's bizarre.
And it's only
a
tiny proportion of the keyboard warriors. Yeah.
So on this fixture, a very disappointing result. Do you think the high from Wembley, winning at Wembley, it's a bit of a hangover from that, or do you honestly think you've been found out and it's going to be tough to turn this around?
I don't think it's anything to do with Wembley. I mean, we were poor for a long time before Wembley and since Wembley. I don't know what's gone wrong.
Do you think
they're the same set of players that were obliterating teams.
Do you think the players might have taken the foot off the gas, seeing that how far ahead they were at the top of the point?
Maybe. Also, there's a train of thought that thinking there's one or two players that won't be there in the summer. They might have got tapped up by other clubs, because I know for a fact, and I've been talking to a scout that Sheffield United are quite interested in Ben Wiles. Barlas is a saleable asset, as is Smith. And Ogba, who knows? I mean, they're 4 vital members of the side. And if they're having overtures made to them from other clubs...
Yeah, if their focus has been turned to a different club, it's tough, isn't it? And hopefully that's not the case, because you'd like to think that as a professional footballer you'd be able to continue performing for the club that you're at until you do leave. But we've seen it happen many a time, haven't we?
Yeah.
So moving on to Cheltenham against Portsmouth. Decent result for Cheltenham once again. Liam Sercombe on the 76th minute, and fairly even game in this one. Jonathan, do you want to take this one?
Yeah. Well, Portsmouth for me is just so frustrating, because they're another team that are struggling mid-table, that have got a squad that should be challenging for the playoffs. I mean, I love Marcus Harness. I think Ronan Curtis on his day can definitely play at a high level. They've got a real good defence as well. Probably the best goalkeeper in League One in Bazunu as well. And but I think we have to give Cheltenham some credit this season. The way they've just come into this league, a bit like Cambridge, just settled in, not messed about, got results when they needed, and they could potentially finish top half. And I think, for no disrespect to Cheltenham, for a club that size to finish top half of League One, with probably not the biggest budget in League One, But you know, for Michael Duff team, everyone has to perform 110%, otherwise they're out of the team next game. Yeah. So I think we need to give Cheltenham some credit this season for how well they've actually done, and Alfie May as well. I know.
I was going to say Claxton alert,
but Alfie May, sorry Dan, he deserves some credit for his goals this season.
Well, he's a player that's hit his form now, isn't he? He's at that age where he's hitting his form, and I think when you get a player that finally finds his level and finds the form, what is he, 28 now?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so we come into that part of the game where you see a lot of players really do come into their form. So, and he's a good player. He can have left and right back constantly.
Yeah, it's different level. It's nice to see. To be fair, I do like seeing players doing well. But yeah, it'd be nice if he was still in a Rovers shirt. Moving on to the next fixture: Fleetwood 1, Accrington Stanley 2. Jake, floor is yours on this one if you want to take it, mate.
Yeah, it's a weird one because Fleetwood look like they're putting up a really good chance to stay in, and they've been like it all season. You see them play, and you're thinking, right, they're gonna do this, they're gonna play some really good football. They're a team that only seems to be able to string about two halves together. You either get one really good half or one really bad half. You don't get two good 45 minutes. And for them, I feel like they are a team that do well first thing. Your first 45 minutes, they'll do well. I think they get into the dressing room like, job done, we've done it. But Accrington Stanley team, you don't let them have any chance. Because the moment they get that one chance, you're done. Because they get the confidence up, they get the high press up. Stupid red card, let's be honest. It's one of them. And another 94th minute, and this is a credit to Accrington Stanley. They keep going until the final whistle. I think there's some teams in League One that don't do that. They think they get to so many and they think they're done.
Really?
Yeah, it's a weird one, Fleetwood, because I think they've got enough to stay up, but it depends which Fleetwood turn up on the day.
Surely Fleetwood just need to keep the nerve, don't they? I think, like you say, it depends on what Fleetwood team turn up, but it's in their hands.
Our game in hand is Fleetwood. At theirs.
There was a favour with that one.
It's at theirs, and that's my issue. It's away. Our away record, we've got 25 points. Our home record, 44.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could doing us a favour in that one, Jake. But Napper's spitting feathers.
I don't want to upset Napper, but I think Napper's have been quite upset with his team all season.
It's a tough one for you.
Yeah. I like to be neutral like Switzerland.
Yeah. Moving on to the next fixture. Gillingham 1, Wickham 1. A good result for Gillingham. Ian, you want to take this one, pal?
Well, to be quite honest, I think Neil Harris is performing a miracle at Gills for them to even have a sniff of a chance. Because under Evans, they look dead and buried. He's obviously got the team up for it and fighting. And any team that plays Gillingham from now till the end of the season, I think will be in a game. It's a very, very good point against Wickham, but they've had some very good results lately. And they might tip to get out of it. I think they'll get out of the bottom four.
I don't
know who will actually...
If he does.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt, yeah. Because, like I said, when he took over from Steve Evans, they were on the floor. They looked like crew, to be quite honest with you. And he's done a hell of a good job. And I can see them finishing probably the 6th or 7th bottom, the way they're going at the moment.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. I think they're the informed team in the bottom 6, and and that's taking the words out of my mouth. It's just installed that grit and determination in them that you need down at the bottom.
Yeah. Lewis Wing getting the red cards are helpful.
Yeah, we've got them final game.
Have you?
That was done and dusted by
Lewis. Yeah, we've got them away on the final day.
Gillingham are currently 12th in the form table after the last 6 games. And if you put last 10, they are, they're 15th.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
No.
Yeah.
To be fair,
survival form.
George has hit the nail on the head as well. May as well relegate the bottom six. It has been a poor bottom six, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think everybody's been trying to get relegated. The results that the teams have had, the fact that we're still in with a shout this late on in the season.
I don't know how you've done it.
Neither do I. Well, I do. It's because of results like this. So Cambridge 2, Morecambe 1. Fantastic goal by Stockton. And where would Morecambe be without Stockton's goals? And I mean, Jonathan put in the group chat earlier that it's a surprise that he's not nominated for a Player of the Year.
I don't get that.
Yeah, the fact that he's not even in consideration is, I don't understand it. Fantastic player. Can't see him being at Morecambe next year.
No, I can't.
Nope.
I couldn't see him being at Morecambe in January, to be quite honest with you.
And he could do a
why
that
goal
was,
of the season thing on his own.
Ian, you know why that was? Morecambe locked him in the cellar till the end of January and just let him out.
Yeah.
Moving on to Lincoln 1, Wigan 3. So I believe this was 4 wins in 5 matches for Wigan, which has give them a really strong hold at the top of the division. Jonathan, do you want to talk us through this one, mate?
Well, I'm running out of really positive things to say about Wigan. They've just gone about their business. They had all them games in hand. You could have said the pressure was really on them with Rotherham performing and that, and they've just, it feels just like they've gone along and they thought, right, take it game by game, and they've been faultless since probably February time. They've been really faultless. When you've got players like Will Keane, Callum Lang, Josh McGuinness scoring every other week, you're going to guarantee to get decent points, and they've got an incredible defence. I think Jack Watmore is a superb defender, and they've got I honestly can say they've got a championship squad in the making, honestly, even as a MK fan. And the job Liam Richardson's done to turn them around from where they were last season to now is just incredible.
Yeah, there were question marks on
worthy
on
champions.
Liam. Yeah, but there were question marks on Liam. We saw what he could do in a relegation battle. It was questions on could he do it as the race for the title or promotion, and I think his answer
to Wigan as well and say, look, you kept us up. Let's see what you can do. There's a bit of cash. We haven't had any cash to spend. We want to see what you can do and see what you can ride this out of. And it's nice when you see teams like Wigan and Bolton and the whole situation you see with teams recently that they get this whole kind of resurgence, like getting back again, because these are teams who a couple of seasons ago nearly weren't around.
Yeah.
So the fact that they're back and they're starting to show how a club should be run, I think Wigan's owners and Wigan ownership, even before situation, they're very good at keeping the fan base, because Wigan is very much a rugby team in the past. The fact that it's got a football team is great, and Wigan just like Jonathan said, you can't praise how much they've done this season with what they've done, and you look at their games in hand, you think, oh, your games in hand, you might blow that, but they've just gone, now we'll just keep going.
Yeah. Would you look at that? Yorkshire lads praising Wigan.
I know.
Jonathan's not a Yorkshire lad.
You don't know where he won for night.
Ian, would you like to take this one? Oxford 1, Sunderland 2. Do you think Oxford have bottled it, or do you think they're going to turn it around?
I do. I'm not a Carl Robinson fan, because I just regard him as an arrogant what so and so. But
thank you, Ian, because I'm the same.
Yeah. Sunderland seem to have developed a knack of scoring very late winning goals. That look like, with the stats, it looks like they were under the cosh a bit. And let's face it, Oxford, for all of the fact they don't like the manager, they're a very, very good football team.
Yeah,
and the strike force, Matty Taylor in particular, are really championship standard. But they don't concede too many goals. And it really is nice to see another club other than Rotherham bottling it. if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it would a bit of a smash and grab one. This one.
This was
But,
another one where it went to
Embleton
90.
took his goal very well.
It went to 90 plus 9 minutes, I think, in the end.
Yeah, was it an injury or something?
Yeah.
I think there were, yeah.
Moving on to Shrewsbury 1, Ipswich 0. We mentioned Shrewsbury earlier about them having nothing to play for, but they can pull results out against the better teams in the league. 1-0 down in 6 minutes, but for me, the red card changed the game. But what a strike from Wally. Unreal.
Oh,
finish.
It was a fantastic strike.
But looking at the stats, I mean, it's a very even game. Ipswich fans, they've got to be disappointed with this season, surely.
I'm wondering if they're thinking, if we pulled the trigger on Paul Cook sooner, could we have been up there? Because since they come in, he's been really changing the system, changing how everything is. They looked a lot better, and it's a shame because we all said they were going to be up there, and it's not worked. But it's interesting. Maybe they miss out this season, but then they go and do a Wigan next year. Who knows?
Possibly. Would you agree with that, Jonathan, Ian?
Yeah,
they'll be up there next season. I'm sure they are building something.
Yeah, definitely. I think they'll definitely.
They've got
be
the
up
fan
there.
base and the finances.
Yeah, you'd like to think that they will be pushing next season, but a lot of people thought they'd be pushing this, and they're not a million miles away.
Yeah.
Moving on to Bolton against Sheffield Wednesday. So the floor once again is yours, Jake. Chances
All I'm going to
galore.
say is, and Dan can understand this one, learn to defend set pieces, for God's sake. It's not hard. You're an ex-defender, Darren. Teach them how to mark. Do something. We battered them. We really did. We were going forward. Barry Bannon was trying to hit them all over the park. And Barry Bannon's been a different player recently because he's playing more forward. And I think that's why he's on 8 or 9 goals this season. And he didn't used to score that many goals because he used to sit in between the back four and then ping those balls and stuff. He got a bit more leeway now. Great to see Jordan Story get his goal. And we took 5,000 to this as well. There was a lot of fans there. We're doing about the same again when we go to MK as well. Hopefully there won't be the violence that there was in that game. It was a nightmare. But Wednesday, see games out, for God's sake. It's not rocket science. A ball comes in. Our back foot is really tall and knows how to defend. We've got some really quality people back there. We've got Jordan Story, championship experience. Harley Dean, Sam Hutchinson. You've got a very good goalkeeper in Bailey Peacock-Fowle. Why the hell you can't defend a simple set piece? And it's not just corners, it's free kicks. It's like, if you want to beat us, float a ball in, go get one of those 99 ball floater balls and just watch our defence just go, wee, parting of the Red Sea. It's ridiculous. I get so frustrated having to watch Wednesday defend these set pieces because it's not rocket science. It's easy. You put it in row Z. I got taught that at a really young age. If the ball comes to you at the back and you've got time, just kick it anywhere, but not to the corner. Kick it to there. Kick it to your manager. If anything, kick it to your missus in the sodding stands and say they're the present. I am sick and tired of this team not defending set pieces. It does my head in. This is what will cost us this season. The fact that we have not taken our chances and we can't defend set pieces.
Do you feel better, Jake?
Yeah, Jake, but you were playing the best team in League One.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that, yeah. Even though there's a good song going for Jordan Story, Oasis song. What's the story?
What's the story, Jordan Story?
There we go. Just don't sing the next line because it sounds a bit wrong.
But you've just got quite a lot off your chest there, Jake. We all stayed quiet and it allowed you to rant away. But Lewis made a good point earlier on in the chat that Alex Neil's not actually playing amazing, but points at this stage of the season is the most important thing.
Yeah.
I know it's a late equaliser for Bolton,
I'll take the point.
it's another point, isn't it?
Yeah,
And
I'll take the
Bolton
point.
it can be a tough place to go.
It's more gutting that it's the 90th and we couldn't see it through, and we had 22 shots and 5 of them on target. And what gets me is starting Mendes Lang as a striker next to Lee Gregory when Berahino got that hat trick, and we haven't seen him since. I don't get it. It's like what you always warn me about, Darren Mull. He'll do something that completely banjacks you while he's not doing it.
Yeah, he used to do it like square pegs, round holes all the time.
We might have Jordan Windass back as well for the back end of the couple of games, so that could be interesting to see if he can come back just to help with that up front.
That'd be a good player to return at this stage of the season.
Just not on Saturday, please.
He can't play Saturday, don't worry. I do you a deal. Good. If you can leave Theo at his hotel, we'll not bring I don't know, Lewis Gibson and Dennis and Ed. We'll leave them at home.
So you're saying that we can bring Connor Wickham? Is that what you're saying?
I don't mind Connor Wickham. Connor Wickham's a bit of a Wednesday legend. He'll get a right little reception.
So Ian's already told us what went wrong against Charlton. We'll skip past the Donny game onto the AFC Wimbledon MK Dons game. These are always tasty encounters, aren't they, Jonathan?
Certainly are, and this was our first visit back home since they've moved into their new stadium. Got a nice feisty reception by all accounts when they were warming up. I think Dean Lewington got a few verbals from the fans. His first throw-in after 2 minutes, he spent a minute of it. The fans went to throw a ball at him and managed to hit the linesman, then the referee, because, their aim is just awful. They took the lead through a deflected shot. Not much coming or the defence could do about it. And then that first half, we were really poor. I think it was mainly to do with just the atmosphere of the home fans getting on our back. Every time we got the ball, we weren't playing our normal fluid stuff. Got to half-time, 1-0 down. And then just before the hour mark, he decided to take Wickham and our right wing back Kessler off and bring Theo and Mo Isa on, and Theo changed the game predictably. Just kept running at them, getting free kicks and corners, and finally the equaliser came from an absolutely sublime volley. I absolutely love goals that go off the underside of the bar and in, and Troy Parrott absolutely delivered on his celebration as well. Knee slide in front of the home fans and just with his arms folded. The absolute S-housery at its very finest. And we could have won it. Theo had a shot that was saved, and then they went up the other end and Jamie Cumming point blank save. So take the point. At least we didn't lose. You know what it's like, local rivals. You don't want to lose to any rivals or any teams that you hate. And it could turn out to be a vital point towards the end of the season.
Definitely, I'd agree with that. And like you say, it's one of those things, isn't it? One of those games where emotions are running high, and you generally can't play your normal style of football because of the atmosphere and everything that encircles a fixture like that.
It's also the weird one because in general football, MK Dons is the team everyone really doesn't like when it comes to this fixture.
Yeah. Poor old franchise, Jonathan. Poor old franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Burton 0, Plymouth 0. There wasn't much to shout about in that one, apart from Plymouth 8 clean sheets in 9, but few chances for both. So we'll not go into that one in too much detail. This one, I feel for Crew fans, me and Ian were talking before we came online, because we followed football for so long. I mean, I've been a fan since as long as I can remember. Jonathan has, Jake has, Ian mentioned he'd been a Miller for 50 years. I think we can empathise with teams who are in a struggling position. So I can empathise with Crew fans. They were wanting Artell out. There was banners and things. They've got the wish. I'm not sure how I feel with that. I think Artell did a great job. I think he's had his hands tied this season with the way that the club's being run, but I don't know the ins and outs of Crew as well as their fans do. But what I will say is they looked very, very poor on Saturday. Didn't really offer too much. 11 shots, 3 on target, and it's not been often this season that I've come away from the Eco Power now happy with a performance and happy with a result and thinking we were the better team there. And I think that just shows how poor Crewe were on the day. 484 minutes without a goal for the Rovers, went over a full month without seeing a goal. And then, a bit like Bussers, 2 came in one game. And first goal, decent strike. Second goal, couple of opportunities for the Crewe keeper and the defence to clear it. But it fell to Josh Martin. He's sorted his feet out and slotted it away very nicely. That relegated Crewe on the day. And bizarrely, it's still got us in with a chance of survival. We're 5 points away from getting out of it. 12 to play for. I can't see it happening. I don't know if you guys can see it happening. But stranger things have happened, surely.
Depends what Donny turned up on the day.
Yeah.
So Donny on the day, they can show that bit of grit and kind of pride that you want in the shirt. It seems like it's too little too late, but...
Yeah, I would say that. It does feel like it is too little too late, but looking at the fixtures, Bolton, Shrewsbury, Burton, Oxford, that could be 4 teams who have nothing to play for. If we turn up and play them like a cup final every game, who knows? But it's the hope that kills you, isn't it?
You said that a lot this season.
It is.
That's as good as your Claxon performer players.
And then the final 2 games that we're going to go into before we look at the table and how it all lies coming into the Easter weekend. Burton 0, Wigan 0. I'll be honest, I went to watch Lord of the Dance on Tuesday, so I've not watched any football. That was a decent show. It was good fun.
Happy anniversary, by the way.
Thank you. You guys might have to help me with this. Burton, Wigan, was there any talking points?
No.
No?
Apart from Burton's pitch looked like a mud bath, not really.
I can't talk about pictures because, ours is not great.
So played on a bit of a mud bath and no real talking points. And it's kind of, has it opened the door, that result, for MK Dons potentially getting first?
No,
there we go. But Ian, I think Jacob is wrong. Jonathan's not had to have a month because it's pretty positive.
Are you sitting comfortably?
Because it's positive for me.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Got a bedtime story. Come on.
Where's my
popcorn? Nightmare.
Are you sitting? Nothing. Are you sitting comfortably? I'll begin. Pathetic doesn't begin to describe. I wouldn't really call it a performance. They showed up, they got the kits on, and they went on the pitch. That's where it ended. We managed to make a mid-table League One side look like Real Madrid. Obviously, which we're always going to happen. 2x Miller score 2 of the 3 goals, and Hurst makes the second one for Harness. We just didn't look like scoring. We couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together. As Jake would probably concur with me, you shouldn't lose goals from a set piece. That's exactly what we did towards the end of the first half. And we normally defend set pieces quite well. The second goal, Richard Wood got done by George Hurst because he has no pace. He turned him, and it was an easy cross for Harness into the second goal. And the third goal, our goalkeeper, Victor Johansson, went out and tried to punch the ball, got nowhere near it. The loose ball came, and Hurst said, "Thank you very much." 3-0. Job done for Pompey, really. Who didn't, to be honest, didn't have to play that well to beat us. Confidence is low.
I didn't see this one coming.
I did. I did. If you listen to Paul Watt's press conference at full time, he seems at a loss like we all are. They're the same group of players that were beating the likes of Pompey 4 and 5 in October, November time. And I don't know what's wrong. It could be that players are being tapped up by other clubs and know full well that they're not going to be there next season. It could be just general loss of form, loss of confidence, or it could be that there's a problem inside the dressing room. I don't think it's a coincidence that just before the January transfer window, Ladapo put a transfer request. But yeah, I don't know if that could have affected the atmosphere in the dressing room, because Freddie at the moment's trotting around the field like he doesn't want to be there. I mean, he's got no work rate. He's just trotting around, but Warne insists on playing him.
I don't think I've ever heard Paul Warne talk about a Rotherham team like he did that night, with how the fact that he can't seem to, that's worrying, because he's a very good manager,
very
and
worrying.
Coach.
Yeah,
it's very, very worrying. It's like, well, if he doesn't know what's wrong, who does?
Yeah.
I mean, the only way to get through this
on the pulse
is
to know exactly what's happening, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and the rest of his coaching staff, Richie Barker, Matt Hamshaw, those sort of people. We play Ipswich on Saturday. Thank you, Sky. 12:30 kickoff.
Don't mention Sky to me either.
If we, yeah, I know. We go again, and let's see what happens. And to be quite honest with you, it's a good job we got the points in the bag, because we might just, hopefully, limp into the playoffs. Because I've just seen
your last run in the games. It's Ipswich, Burton, Oxford, Sunderland, Gillingham. That is not a running you want to be having right now.
No.
Not in the form we're in. But we can take solace in the fact that we've hammered those teams once already.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just about...
but it's a different Rotherham United.
Yeah,
like you say, it needs somebody to find out what's gone wrong and where it's going wrong to fix it. If you've got Warney coming out and not really knowing the catalyst for the start of this run of form, then it's like you say, it is worrying. But 4 games to go, or have you got 5?
I think we've got 5.
We've got 5.
So yeah, 5 games to go, 15 points to play for. It's still in Rotherham's hands, isn't it? They just need to find that early season.
But is that the worrying thing? Is that the worrying thing, that it's in your hands?
It don't worry me. It doesn't worry me. If we win all 5 games, we go up, regardless of what MK do, because of the goal difference.
Yeah.
But we won't win all these 5 games. I know that for a fact. And I've mentally given up on automatic.
Oh yeah. Wow.
Don't do it. Yeah. Have hope. It's a fun place to be, because I'd mentally given up on League One until Saturday, and now I'm all for it again. We're going to get out of it.
How many times, Dan? How many times have you given up?
42.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on, Dan. This hasn't been a League One review show. It's been your therapy session. We both know it.
Yeah, it's been a midweek therapy session has not been too bad, but I've been okay. It's been more therapy for you guys, getting it off your chest.
Especially you, Jake.
I did a video after the game where I went absolutely mental.
So just to finish off, before we round the video off, we'll have a look at the table. So Crewe mathematically relegated, the first team in League One to be so. No team will get relegated this weekend. No, Friday. Potentially, we might get relegated on Monday, depending on results. But it is very tight between Doncaster and Fleetwood. Jake's already said Fleetwood's game in hand is against Sheffield Wednesday, and it's at Fleetwood, which is worrying because Wednesday's away form is much worse than their home form. But 5 points separate 19th down to 23rd. So it is literally anybody's, the 23rd, 22nd, and 21st, the last 3 places to go down, any one of those 5 teams, in my opinion.
It's been for a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah. Deep down, I think we're one of those teams, but if we turn up against Bolton and Shrewsbury over the Easter weekend, this could look very, very different. So I still have a little bit of hope, but I'm kind of resigned to the fact that we'll be playing League Two football next season. Moving to the top of the table, so this is where you three lads can battle it out. Sheff Wednesday in 5th, Sunderland. So Lewis said, just hope Sunderland don't bottle it. Yeah, you've got a game in hand over Wycombe, so as of Sheffield Wednesday, you'd like to think that'd be the top 6.
One of our games is Wycombe as well. We've got MK Dons on Saturday, Crew, and then I think it's Wycombe.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
You've got Portsmouth as well, haven't you?
Yeah, last game of the season.
Yeah, they should be on the beach. That's not.
It is, so hopefully we'll do well.
Yeah.
So, honest thoughts, Jake. Are you going to be in the top 6 in 5 games' time?
I'm not going to sit on the fence. I'll say we will just.
We'll just. Okay, now I'm on to the top 3. We've got Rotherham. I think Ian's already said that he's kind of given up or resigned to not getting automatic, but it could turn around. Jonathan will hope that automatic is theirs and not Rotherham's, but do you think that's how the top 3 is going to finish, lads, or do you think there will be change between now and the end of the season?
Plymouth may sneak past Rotherham.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I think we'll finish 4th.
Wow.
Yeah. But unfortunately, if we finish 4th, you know what the playoff semi-finals likely to be against?
Oh.
Yeah, I do.
that'd be tasty.
Yeah.
That'd be a very good semi-final.
Good luck. Well, that'd be a couple of away wins then.
I've got this situation. I don't want to play Rotherham, right? I don't want to play Plymouth again because I've played them so many sodding times this season. I've had enough.
Well, we leave Sunderland.
Yeah.
So, Jonathan, thinking 2nd is all yours then?
No, we've got 3 huge games against Sheffield Wednesday, Oxford, and Plymouth on the last day. Plymouth are still, I don't know how Plymouth are still in there. Again, another club that need massive credit. Everyone sort of said they'll drop off, and they haven't. And it's going to be, this Easter weekend is huge. I think if we can get 4 points, no matter if it's winning Saturday, drawing Tuesday, or the other way around, then I might be more confident. But until the games are equal, I won't be confident, because I've still got this feeling that Rotherham are going to somehow get a second win. They can't be playing this badly for this long. I don't know if it's going to take someone in the dressing room to kick them up the bum or what, or whether Warney is going to just think, right, just go for it, change the tactics. But I think that 2nd place is going to go right down to the last game of the season.
I think 2nd place,
my nerves can take
6th or 7th might as well. I don't think the playoff situation is done until last game of the season.
Well, that's what we love. That's what we want as football fans: excitement and drama until the end.
Yeah.
The battle between Wycombe, Sunderland, and Wednesday is incredible.
Yeah.
It's all in the same number of points. It's anything could happen. Absolutely anything could happen.
We're only ahead by a goal difference. That's only because of how we played against Cambridge at home and got that 6.
Yeah.
It's been an incredible season so far. But we're almost up to an hour. It has been a bumper episode. I think the next episode will be a bumper one as well, because we'll probably do that on the 24th of April. So we'll take Easter weekend in and next Saturday's game. So there'll be like 3 sets of games to go through because of Sky moving everything here, there, and everywhere.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, cheers, Sky.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Love you. Don't give me a Christmas card. I already pay you enough.
12:30 on a Saturday afternoon.
7:45 on a Saturday night.
With no train service from Milton Keynes to Sheffield as well. Ridiculous.
I will say that credit to the Wednesday fans that are travelling to Milton Keynes. They're travelling in their hordes.
And the club put on coaches as well to get them there and back and stuff. And
that's fantastic. That
It's nice to actually see our club do that, because for a while we weren't very good at helping fans out, and I think this season we finally turned the corner on that a little bit, which is nice.
No, that's good. Yeah, that's very good. So yeah, next show will be on the 24th of April. As always, go into the description, follow these guys' social medias, find them on Twitter. Fantastic content creators, fantastic people as well. We only have the good ones on the channel, don't we?
I also want to mention that comment: one team on 80 points might not make playoffs.
It's quite possible. Quite possible.
Yeah. Well,
and it probably be us.
But yeah, that is horrible to think, isn't it? That 80 points in a season and you might not get playoffs. That just shows how good the top of the league is and how bad the
90 points and you might not even get automatic.
Yeah.
Horrid.
Yeah.
And also,
incredible,
if you think about next season, depending if they're still here, Derby are going to be in that league.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's going to make it even harder.
That's another idiotically massive club in League One.
Well, I think if they go down, I think they've got another 15-point deduction for League One as well coming. So they could really tumble. And that
we could have done with them in this season. We'd have been 22nd.
Oh, damn, Gio, mate.
Oh.
Nah, it's all fun. So that's where we're going to leave this one. As I say, please go ahead and follow all these guys' socials. They're in the description down below. Thank you for giving up an hour of your Thursday evening to talk League One football. It's been a pleasure. I hope you've all enjoyed being on the show.
Yeah, it's been
Fantastic.
perfect.
Thanks, Sam.
It should be good the next couple of games, because it's the business end of the season and we'll know a little bit more. And good luck on Saturday, Jonathan.
Yeah, good luck to you after Saturday.
We'll see what happens.
That sounded like it was difficult to say. Like, good luck.
It was, because I know what's going to happen, because Theo Corbino is going to go a fucking header, pardon my French, on a corner on the 95th minute.
There you go. Get a fiver on it. So that's where we're going to leave this one. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on repeat, please comments in the section down below. I will try and get back to them. But if you've enjoyed it, stick a thumbs up on it. Comments in the section down below. Subscribe to all of us and myself if you haven't already. As always, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.